Hello everyone. I'm at a free campsite in southwestern Colorado and it's a beautiful November day. Today I'm going to show you a new stove I got. It's a forced air stove, which is very exciting because it might actually be useful for cooking, boiling large pots of water and so on. Today I'm going to compare these two stoves. These are two wood burning cooking stoves. This one is a forced air one, a new one, and this is a wood gas stove that doesn't use forced air. And I'm going to show you why the forced air one is way better for cooking. This one I had a lot of trouble with getting it working. I spent a few days to figure out how to actually run it. It's very high maintenance. You have to keep adding wood at a certain amount and you have to do it the right way. This thing is way more advanced, but it has the downside that you got to have a power source to plug in to power the fan. So I'm going to show you these two stoves. I'm going to set them up and compare them. They're both Chinese junk, but you know, these days everything's made in China, so I guess everything's junk. But these two guys are pretty good. I've used both of them for cooking while camping, so let's see how it goes. Take this one out. This one's made of stainless steel, and the only downside with this one is probably the weakness of these fins. I had another one where one of the fins broke off. So you just assemble it like that. Put the top on, and then you can put your pot on top. Now, this one is very difficult to use, especially to get a big flame so you can boil water quickly. Whereas this one really solves that problem. Chinese have been thinking. I actually built a forced air wood gas stove myself, but mine failed because the fan ended up melting. But this one solves that problem, so you're going to see how it works. Put this one aside for a minute. It comes in this green box, and it has the little USB cord thing, and you got the stove. It sort of looks like this. It's like, what the heck is this? It looks like some sort of contraption, you know, maybe a part for a car or something. You just open the clip, take out this thing, clip it together like that, and you open this butterfly thingamabob. And, so get it on there somehow. How does it work? Oh, line that up. Boom. So obviously I've used it before. When you get it, it's nice and shiny. Right now it's kind of, but so far it's held up to temperature. Now the main feature of this thing is the fan unit. So the fan unit here, it's got some sort of fan in it, computer fan or something. Where does the air even go in? Yeah, right there. You can see the air gets sucked in through the side there. There's this baffle you can open to allow more or less air to come in. So it's a good design. It keeps it away from the fire. The fire's over here, fan's over here. My design, I had sort of the can, and then I had the fan underneath. And I tried to shield it, and it worked for a while, but then it melted the fan. So this thing is super easy to use. It doesn't really use the wood gas effect as much. Like what this one does is it has the double wall. So this piece is like a double wall, and then the air gets heated and it comes out here, and then it burns like a propane stove sort of. This one doesn't really have that, but it doesn't matter. It just blows air at the thing and just huge flames. You could probably cook for a whole stadium with this thing if you had to. Just add wood, you know, chew through wood like crazy. This thing makes more fire than it should. So you got the USB cable, and then there's the thing with the button. So you gotta click the button. There's two speeds, but you can also use the baffle to adjust. That's the other major advantage with this thing, is compared to this, you can't adjust this thing. It goes high, all of a sudden you have a great flame when you don't want it, and then it dies down, and you know your water stops boiling or your thing stops cooking. Whereas with this thing, it just, you can adjust it. It's more like a propane stove in that sense. As long as you feed it with wood, you can adjust it. You can turn it off, and it'll idle in a sense. You'll see. So I've got a power bank here, so I can plug that in, and you'll hear there's a fan. You can click the button. There's high speed. Oh, what's going on? unplugged. There's a high speed, a low speed. So to start, you need it off to start the stove. So I'm gonna show you how this works. To start it, I just put in some bit of tissue in there, you know, whatever. Just put some twigs. Just throw some twigs in there. Hardest part is getting it started. Once it's started, it's anything organic you can find. Doesn't matter if it's wet, dry. It doesn't really matter. It will dry it out. It will burn it. And put some twigs. All right. Okay, I think it started. See it going? So now this fire take a long time to burn. I got a pot of water here. Take a long time to boil that. But you'll see. I'm going to turn on the fan and you'll see what happens. Open the baffle. Look at that. Roaring inferno. Look at that. Ooh, you're getting hot. I don't know if you can see that. That's a roaring inferno. Look at that. You can cook over that easily. And the fire's going straight up. Ooh. So I put a bunch more sticks in there. Like that. Put the pot on top. See how long this takes. You can hear it roaring under there. There's a lot of heat. Ooh, hopefully the camera doesn't. No. Flames coming your way. Oh, look at that. What? It's too big. Burn myself. See, the fire's too big. Put the pot over here. Look at that. Roaring inferno. You turn down the heat obviously by closing the baffle, but we don't do that. Snack Tech, we let her go. Maximum. Look, you can already see bubbles forming in the water. Here, let's do it with the lid open just to prove it how crazy the stove is. Pretty hot under there. That's where I was holding the camera. Didn't have my tripod with me. But it's getting hot. Move the plastic things. Oop. It's getting sort of toasty. A lot of fire. Yeah. Oof. Okay, it's about time to add more. And you can add huge pieces. That's the best part. You can add large pieces of wood. So I take it off. Oh, it's almost gone. Add a large piece. Put it back on. And this is what, probably a liter of water at least. It's quite a bit of water. We got some big bubbles forming. It's just gonna burn like mad. You could have wet wood. Doesn't really matter. Baffle all the way. Doesn't matter what you put in. You see the fire coming up the side even. It's just hot. It's hot, hot. Okay, you see the water is boiling. It's starting to boil at least on the bottom. And we should add another piece. There we go. Don't have to worry about it. It's just gonna burn like mad because that's what this thing does. You can also, of course, reduce the speed. Now, if we want to, once it boils, I'm going to set it to low, and you'll see. how you can adjust the flame on this. Oh, now the wind shifted again. Okay. Need more wood. It's definitely boiling now. But we gotta add more wood, you know, keep this inferno going. That's what feeds this fire. You don't get to boil water for free. It's a lot of energy. There we go. Fire coming up the side even. Okay, that's definitely boiling, but we'll bring it to a full boil just to prove it. You know, the big bubbles, big boil bubbles coming up. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. Come on, that's a proper boil. See your inferno on the bottom. There we go. Now we're really boiling. So that's a lot of water. This is a I don't know what size. There we go. Can't complain about that. It'd be very difficult to get this sort of boil on this stove. But oh, look at that. You tell me that's not boiling. That is boiling. That is boiling water. You're gonna have a hard time getting this on your stove at home. Boiling like that. See the inferno we're having down there. So how fast was that? I'll put the time. Someone can time it. But it was focus. Why is it not focusing? Focusing on the smoke. So there you go. That's a huge pot of water we just boiled. So like I said, I love this thing. You know, the Chinese, they make junk, but this is some good junk. So I'm probably going to sell this on the website. You can order it there. You can visit the SnackTech shop. That's where we're going to sell, because this is a product I like. I only sell products I like on the SnackTech shop. You know, some of the products we make ourselves, design ourselves, but this one, you know, this one I like. So you see how fast, how violently is it able to boil water with that. Probably do a review on this stove too. Show you how to actually, because this one, you know, the technology can fail. This one's a bit more maybe less complicated, but it's much more complicated to run. This thing, as long as you have a battery bank, it only draws a half an amp, so 2.5 watts. So it'll run a long time on a battery bank. It's even running on a solar USB supply, no problem. So you see that water boil. Easily cook it. Now we're gonna reduce the power. So I'm gonna show you how that works. So put on the lower speed, move the baffles in most of the way. You see, the flame gets a lot smaller. You can just turn it off and see what happens. Okay. Right away our boil decreases. And we look at the fire, it's almost out. This is the sort of result you get. So you gotta add some more stuff. And you see there's almost no ash in there. The ash can add up, but it sometimes gets blown away. Or you can burn anything, you know. If you find something organic on the ground, just throw it in. See, now it's pretty low, so we can turn on the fan again. And you can control the. Oof, smoked out again. So you can control the amount with the baffle there. Let's make another inferno. Make it huge and see how big we can make this flame. Let's see. Open the baffle all the way. All the way open. and it'll burn anything. You can put huge chunks in. That's a huge advantage with this one. You got to have a few small twigs in there so that to keep the fire going. Whereas with this one, you put huge chunks of wood, no problem. Low maintenance, as you saw. I can have a huge flame all day if I want. Let's add some more wood. You got a way bigger fire than you'd expect. It's a beautiful day out. Another problem with this one is these legs are not that stable, and there's only 3. On this one we got the 4 legs, and you can actually turn them in and out, you know, as needed. For huge pots it'll be very stable, like that, or for tiny kettles, no problem. Chinese have thought of everything this time, you know, batteries not included. So look at that, raging fire. And like I said, I've tried it with wet wood. It'll burn anything. You could put anything in there. It'll dry it out, no problem. Okay, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the Snack Tech shop and the forum for other cool products, and we'll see you next time.